elephant of West Beloved had no trunk. He had only a blackish, bulgy nose as big as a boot that he could wriggle about from side to side, but he couldn't pick up things with it.
But there was one elephant.
A new elephant.
An elephant's child.
Who was full of satiable curiosity. And he lived in Africa.
What does the crocodile have for dinner?
Hush. And they punished him immediately. By and by, when that was finished, he came upon Colo Bird, sitting in the middle of a wait-a-bit thorn bush, and he said,
My father has punished me, and my mother has punished me. All my aunts and uncles have punished me for my sexual curiosity, and still, I want to know what the crocodile has for dinner.
Go on down to the banks of the great, gray, green, greasy Limpopo River, all surrounded with cedar trees, and find out.
That very next morning, this satiable elephant's child took 100 pounds of bananas and 100 pounds of sugar cane and 17 melons, and said to all his dear families,
Goodbye, dear families. I'm going to find out what the crocodile has for dinner.
Now you must know and understand, O best beloved, that till the very week and day and hour and minute, this insatiable elephant's child had never seen a crocodile. He did not know what one was like. It was all insatiable curiosity. The first thing they found was a bipolar python rock snake curled around a rock.
Excuse me, but have you seen such a thing as a crocodile in these promiscuous parts?
Have I seen a crocodile? What will you ask me next?
Excuse me, but could you kindly tell me what he has for dinner?
Then the bipolar python rock snake uncoiled himself very quickly from the rock and punished the elephant child with his scalesome, flailsome tail.
That is odd. My mother and my father and my uncle and my aunt, not to mention my other aunt, who's a hippopotamus, and my other uncle in baboon, have all punished me for my insatiable curiosity. And I suppose this is the same thing. Goodbye.
So he went on eating melons and throwing the rind about because he could not pick it up. So the child we thought was a log of wood at the very edge of the great gray green greasy Limpopo River. But it was really the crocodile best loved, and the crocodile winked one eye, like this.
Oh, have I seen a crocodile? What will you ask me next? Your question is ridiculous. It really has me back. Of course I've seen a crocodile in answer to your plea. The only thing I'm worried about is did he see me? Oh, have I seen a crocodile, and how shall I reply? For if you listen carefully, I'll answer by and by. Look there above the waterline, try hard now not to blink. For if you watch him carefully, I think he just might blink. Come hither, little one, he said, for I'm a crocodile. And even though he's crying tears, I think I saw him smile. Come hither, little one, he says, for I'm a crocodile. Come closer and I'll whisper it, oh curious little elephant's child. There is the river sea, and now his eyes are black as ink. His tail is green, his teeth are white, his underneath is pink. Why does he look at me that way? I don't know what to think. It is an eerie sight indeed to see a crocodile wink.
Excuse me, but have you seen such a thing as a crocodile in these promiscuous parts?
Then the crocodile winked the other eye and lifted half his tail out of the mud, and the elephant's child stepped back, most politely, because he did not wish to be punished again.
Oh, hither, little one. Why do you ask such things?
My father has punished me, and my mother has punished me. All my aunts and uncles have punished me, and the bipolar python rock snake with the scales and flails and tail just at the bank. So, it's quite the same to you. I don't want to be punished anymore.
Come hither, little one, for I am the crocodile.
And he wept crocodile tears to show it was quite true. Then the elephant's child grew all breathless and panted and kneeled down on the bank.
You are the very person I've been searching for all these long days. Will you please tell me what you have for dinner?
Come hither, little one, and I'll whisper.
Then the elephant's child put his head down close to the crocodile's musky, tusky mouth, and the crocodile caught him by his little nose, which up to that very week, day, hour, and minute had been no bigger than a boot, though much more useful.
I think Today I'll begin with Elephant's Child.
At this, O best beloved, the elephant's child was much annoyed, and he said, speaking through his nose like this,
Let go! You are hurting me!
but the bi-colored python rock snake scuffled down from the bank.
My young friend, if you do not now, immediately and instantly pull as hard as ever you can, it is my opinion that your acquaintance in the large pattern leather ulster
And I guess he meant the crocodile.
will jerk you into yonder limpid stream before you can say Jack Robinson.
This is the way bi-colored python rock snakes always talk. Then the elephant's child felt his hind leg slipping, and he said through his nose, which was now nearly 5 feet long,
This is too much for me!
then the bi-colored python rock snake came down from the bank and nodded himself on the elephant's child's hind legs.
Rash and inexperienced traveler, we will now seriously devote ourselves to a little high tension, because if we do not, it is my impression that yonder self-propelling man of war with the armor-plated upper deck
And I guess he meant the crocodile.
will permanently vitiate your future career.
That is the way bi-colored python rock snakes always talk.
Pull! 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 This is a time for heroics. This is a time to be brave. If we all work together and do our part, this elephant's life will save. Pull! Everybody pull! Dig with your heels and your back paws. Tug with your hands or your claws. Never give in or the crowd will win. He's holding our friend in his jaws. Pull! Everybody pull! Pull with your legs or your haunches. Pull with your spine and your haunches. Pull with your heart or else pull them apart. Don't let go of your launches. Pull! Everybody pull! This is not a break. Someday this time you'll hear my pain. Oh, let's say good now, everyone give him a yay. Pull! Everybody pull! 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 Pull!
And the bi-colored python rock snake pulled hardest. And at last the crocodile let go of the elephant's child's nose with a plop that jiggered all over Devil and Popo.
Thank you, bi-colored python rock snake.
And the elephant's child wrapped up his poor pulled nose in cool banana leaves and hung it in the great gray green greasy Limpopo to cool.
What are you doing that for?
Excuse me, but my nose is badly out of shape, and I am waiting for it to shrink.
Then you'll have to wait a long time. Some people do not know what is good for them.
The elephant's child sat there for 3 days, waiting for his nose to shrink, but never did. For you see, O best beloved, the crocodile huddled out into a really truly trunk. That's all elephants have today.
There's not much to do when a fly is stinging you, unless you have a really truly trunk. There's not much fun, no relief from the sun, unless you have a really truly trunk.
fruit to eat and pulled it down from a tree instead of waiting for it to fall. When he wanted grass, he plucked up from the ground instead of going to sneeze as he used to. He swished the flies away. He made a new, cool, slushy, squishy mud cap when the sun was hot. When he was lonely, he sang through his trunk, and the noise was louder than several brass bands. One dark evening, he came back to all his dear family, and he closed up his trunk and said,
How do you do?
they were very glad to see him, and immediately said, come here and be punished for his insatiable curiosity.
Pooh, I don't think you people know anything about punishing, but I do, and I'll show you.
Then he uncurled his trunk and knocked two of his dear family head over heels. Where did you learn that trick, said they, and what have they done to your nose?
I got a new one from the crocodile on the banks of the great, great, green, greasy Limpopo River. I asked him what he had for dinner, and he gave me this to keep.
It's very ugly.
It is, but it's very useful.
And all his dear families went off, one by one, to the banks of the great, great,